There we go. All right. Welcome, everyone. As I said, my name is Emily, and I'm the founder of Stronger You Senior Fitness. And I'm so excited to be your host for today for our Pitch Your Best Finals. Woohoo! When I founded Stronger You Senior Fitness over 2.5 years ago, it was because I wanted to help innovate and elevate senior fitness in senior living settings. And so this is why I'm super, super excited for the group that we have today, because you're going to hear from 4 incredible individuals who have also created programs to enhance the lives of the individuals that they serve. So here's a bit about how today is going to work. We have Sherry, Lisa, hopefully Rowena soon, and Jesse, and they are all going to have 7 minutes to tell you about the programs that they have created, these incredible programs. And then directly after they present, in under 7 minutes or right on the dot, we're going to have 5 minutes for questions. So I encourage everyone, put your questions in the chat. We'll also have our esteemed judges, who I will introduce in a moment, and they will also have some questions for our finalists as well. So after our finalists present, we are going to have our final vote by both the audience and the judges, and the winner is going to walk away with a $100 Amazon gift card, as well as a Stronger You Senior Fitness instructor enrollment. Okay, so very, very exciting. Not a bad way to end off a Friday. Now, I want to introduce you to our judges. So we are joined today by Alyssa Tagg, who serves as the Association Director of the National Association of Activity Professionals, and she's waving at everyone. And so this is an organization that provides activity professionals, primarily working with older adults with the opportunities for professional development as well as personal growth. So thank you for being here, Alyssa. We also have Kaylee Massey here. Give everyone a wave, Kaylee, and the polka dots today. And she is the founder of Artful Enrichment, and they provide older adult communities with access to high quality art programs that promote creative expression, social connectivity, and lifelong learning. Thanks for joining us, Kaylee. And last but certainly not least, coming from maybe the warmest spot in the world here, well, maybe not the world, on the Zoom call today, we have Sarah Kyle, and she is the principal at LE3 Solutions, an organization that provides strategic support to senior serving organizations to enhance their life enrichment programming, as well as other parts of their operation. So thank you for being here, Sarah. And then I will be our final judge. Actually, Kelly from LE3 Solutions gives her regrets for today, couldn't be here, but Sarah will be here voting on her behalf. So thank you everyone for joining us. Now, we're going to hear from our finalists. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we are going to get to our very first finalist. So first up, we have Sherry. So Sherry, you can go ahead and share your screen, and then I'm just going to spotlight you for everyone. And Sherry is the Connections Director at Juniper Village at Meadville, and she's going to present her program, St. Patrick's Day Pub Hop. So you've got 7 minutes, Sherry. Take it away.
Anyway, we'll continue. So my name is Sherry, and I'm the Connections Director at Juniper Village at Meadville in Pennsylvania, of course. And yes, earlier they were talking about warm weather. We're sunshiny and tidge warm. Anyway, so I've been in the field for about 20 plus years. And this is something that I've done for a long time at my different facilities. It showed up in my Facebook memories around St. Patrick's Day 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So that shows you a little bit how much I've been doing this fun thing. So St. Patrick's Day Pub Hop, you know, all you see on the news is going on the news around St. Patrick's Day, everybody going pub hopping and for St. Patrick's Day. Why can't we do that for our seniors? Because they at one point in time celebrated St. Patrick's Day, and they also like to have their happy hours and drink and have fun and play games. So looking at celebrating St. Patrick's Day and exercising at the same time. On the day that we have our pub hop, we kind of keep the activities mellow, because when you have about 4 to 6 pubs each pub is going to have their different game, and each pub is different parts of your facility. So they're going to be traveling, whether they're wheeling themselves in a wheelchair or walking themselves with a walker or walking independently. So you have your walking, you have the different games that they play, which helps with their ADLs quite a bit. And they don't realize how much exercise they're getting when they do this. How do we get started? There's actually 2 different ways that you can find people to assist you with the pubs. And it's been different, but you can still do it with the different COVID precautions. It is 2000. In 2021, facilities were starting to maybe be able to go outside their rooms and do stuff, stay on the same floors. So how we did that last year was we stayed up on our floors. Like I have first floor and second floor. So the staff on that floor, we invited them to create the pubs for the St. Patrick's Day. And it was really, really fun, asking the different departments to help. So housekeeping had a pub, wellness, which is our nursing, had a pub. So they did the 2 pubs upstairs. And how they do it is they create a pub name, they pick the decorations, decide on a drink. And when you have a drink, you have an alcoholic version and a non-alcoholic version, because there are going to be people that don't really prefer to have their alcohol. And you choose your game and your different prizes giveaways. Another way that you can do it, and I did it this year just because we're starting to open up a little more. There's pros and cons to asking your partners in caring, because they're more likely to fink out on you than your own staff that you see that day. But it still worked out. It was really, really good. And the partners in caring, like our hospice groups, home health groups, your oxygen company, they all participated and had a great time. How do you keep track of residents' drinks? Because I know in all the different facilities, we all have our policy and procedures. Ours is 2 drinks, per day with the activity. This little pub hop pass is a really exciting thing to get. 10 years ago when they were doing it, and even this year when we passed them out at lunchtime. It is made into a necklace, so they get to wear it. They're loud and proud with their pub hop pass. So your pubs actually circle which drink they have, the non-alcoholic or the alcoholic. That's our way of being able to control how many drinks they have. And it works really well. So an example of a pub, Interim Hospice is a hospice company that came and assisted us with this. So she had a really neat drink, and she made it. It was green, of course, and had rainbow candy in it. And it was a really neat St. Patty's Day themed drink. Her activity that she did, we all got to dress up and take pictures with her picture frame that she had. So, that's a prime example of a different pub that she had. This is a different pub with the staff involvement that we had 2 years ago. You can see their drinks involved tea. And they had to toss the coins into the black cauldron. So they were using their arm movements for ADL movement and stuff. And as you can see, I'm pointing to my screen. As you can see, the different necklaces that they got with the different prizes that they received. It's like my screen froze. I can't go to my next one. I'm going to stop sharing it and go that way. I'll get it back up, I promise.
Awesome. 1 minute mark as well.
Okay. Oops, you can't see that, can you? Ooh. All right, anyway, So a lot of different things that we did was, it was just a lot of fun. Why is it? Oh, there it is. And so the games and fun, as you can see in the bin that's down below on the bottom of the screen, was the rubber duckies where they picked up the ducky and had a different number and they got the different prizes. And another example is that's my maintenance guy and my previous dietary manager. They did the flappers, the 1920s theme, and different pictures. So
And that is time, Sherry.
that's all
But
right.
amazing. So good. It looks like so much fun. So if any of our audience have any questions for Sherry, feel free to throw them in the chat. And if any of our panel of judges have questions, you can take yourself off mute and you can ask Sherry. And I'll kick us off with a question. I was wondering, getting the staff involved in this way, do you find that they're then more interested in getting involved with other events and programs just throughout the year?
Absolutely. I know that I see a lot of different activities directors post on different sites that they have issues involving getting staff involved. This is a creative way of getting them involved and inviting them because you're handing them that Oriental trading catalog. You're asking for their drinks. And it's really neat the types of drinks that they get. And knowing that I will pay for it out of my budget. So that is your initial thing to get. It does, it involves them quite well.
Awesome.
Sherry, I just have a quick question. I love the idea of disguising exercise. I think that's a really great idea. I think everyone probably loves to exercise and not even know you're doing it. Have you ever thought about doing this more maybe on like a monthly basis where it's just a pub crawl kind of thing and it doesn't have to necessarily be for St. Patrick's Day?
It's kind of funny that you asked me that because last night on my way home from work, my college kid's son told me that, asked me if I would deliver the package of costumes that he got for him and his friends for their little bar crawl, is what they call it. It's the weekend before finals, and I'm like thinking, why are college kids doing this? But he said it's a good way to release stress before we start studying all weekend. And I'm like thinking, if college kids can do it anytime, so can we. So I had thought about that. Why can't we do a summer one outside with the families, different things like that. So yes, it does put in mind that we can do it different times of the year.
Sherry, I have a question. You mentioned how many years have you been doing this? You said
It showed up in my Facebook 10 years, but I don't know.
Okay.
I could be doing it longer.
Yeah. No, my first question is, when you started this from a budget perspective, what is that cost that you feel like you're spending on this event, knowing it's coming all out of your budget? Just guys, kind of like a.
Sometimes you just find out what it is that they would like for their pub. And 9 times out of 10, I probably already have it. Like one of my partners in caring asked if I had any little cauldrons, that they could toss coins into, and she would do a different game that way. And she hot glued them on the board and they had to toss them in. And I already had those. So that was already something I had. And as far as like the alcohol, I fortunately have been at facilities that allow us to have a happy hour. So, taking a look at their recipes and already what I have, to be honest with you, initial startup, but that was like 10 years ago, I only spent like $250 on the activity.
Was there a lot of uplift you had to do to get kind of all the other team members and staff to be, I don't want to say granted permission, but was management on board from the very beginning that was a kind of a part of their role?
Absolutely. My previous facility was always pro activity. My current, my current administrator, I have worked with me at my previous facility. So why did that revert back? So she knows exactly my caliber, and of course she does, you know, facilitate and help it. And my current administrator helps me with it too. And one of the pictures that you saw was my wellness director. So she was part of it, you know, so yes, they all like to jump on board.
No, I think that's great. I think, just for people out there listening, if you want to go do, I think the background of knowing what the cost is, what the expectation of staff is, what that time commitment is, and putting it together, if you're wanting to do in a business plan of sorts, very
Right.
factual based. Here's what we're doing. Here's the spend. Here's the time commitment. Here's the outcome. So awesome. Thank you.
Sherry, now you also have your Partners in Caring that help with expense as well, correct?
With my Partners in Caring, like the interim hospice that you saw that I told you that she did the pictures, all of that was on her. The only part that I did help her with was the alcohol, because like their companies don't allow them to purchase alcohol. So that's, that's all I really did. I didn't really pay for anything this year because it was based on all Partners in Caring.
Lovely. And we'll go to Alyssa for the last question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Sherry, that sounds like it's a really good idea with an activity. My only concern is I love the idea of doing it monthly, but that's probably where it becomes a mundane activity and it's not a fun activity anymore because it's something to look forward to. So maybe you would want to consider doing it maybe quarterly or even twice a year. You could celebrate Oktoberfest maybe and put that in so you could have it in the fall as well. Because that's another concern you would probably have if you started doing that monthly is rising costs of the alcohol expenses and things like that. And so how do you handle like physician orders or anything with alcohol and serving that? And how does it work with having multiple staff members serve the alcohol? I saw that you had the little ticket thing. So did they punch it so you are aware of how many drinks they get per time?
Okay, as far as physician's orders, that's one of the things that I do look at when I come to a facility. Like the previous one where I was at, everybody had a standard order. And this place where I'm currently at also has the standard orders.
Good.
So we do look at that. As far as the card, yes, I give everybody a hole punch and they hole punch, where the cards are.
Great.
That's why when you look at the card, it was at the bottom, so they were able to use the hole punch on it.
Awesome. Well, very good, Sherry. Thank you so much for sharing your program with us. Gina does have one question in the chat. If you could just respond to her in the chat, that would be fantastic. And we are going to move right along to Lisa McClellan. So Lisa is the founder of Age Smart Fitness, and today she is presenting Tap and Clap Cardio. And Lisa, take it away. Oh, and you are on mute.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Lisa and I'm super excited to be here. I think this is such an awesome competition that's been created to bring like-minded people together to share ideas and, as you say, enhance the whole senior living scene. Awesome, I'm really into that. Okay, so I'm going to start with sharing a little bit of music with you and doing a little action. So Tap and Clap Cardio is a chair exercise program for seniors. And the elements of it are movement, rhythm, and spatial orientation, which is directions up, down, yeah. And music is a key to create rhythm, feeling, pleasure, etc. So I thought that we could start together and do a little bit of that. So let me put a little music on and I'm just going to ask you, let's see if I can pin my face. So if you can just let the music, you hear everybody, the music, give me a thumbs up if you hear. Yeah, so you feel it, where do you feel it in your body? Shoulders? Torso? Good. So the beat is the first way that we start getting the body moving, and I found this song works really well. And here's another one. So this one's like a toe tapper, right? You tap. This one's like, let's get going. And you can see how the music alone just brings in energy and creates possibility. I would have you move me, but there's always the problem of lag with, but you go ahead and follow the beat and follow the plot. Okay, I'm gonna just change the music and just show you how when you change the music, how the feeling changes too. And as the feeling changes, then you can go from different types of movements and actions. So this for me has more like a theatrical type of room for it, for the moving. And then we have the classic Mustang Sally. Yeah, this is a toe tapper. It's got room for some action. So my point is, let's have fun. Let's use the music to get the body moving. Let's use rhythm to work the memory in the body in different ways and directions also. Here's a very popular song. They love this one. And why? Because it brings them back to memories. So with the music, we're able to tap into many different things at the same time without the feeling of doing work. Not only the music brings intensity in their body in the sense of greater effort and enthusiasm without you having to try and get them to that place. So we'll just take one more moment just to feel it, because I've been talking a lot. Yeah, look, I can't help it. My lips are creeping up to my ears. And I'm just moving naturally. And that's why I love to use music. So now I'm going to turn that off. I just wanted to give you a little taste. And I'm going to share with you a little video that I put together of my tap and clap cardio with Lisa. So in this case, I'm leading a tap and clap cardio class with participants that are between the age of 66 and 84. Now, most of these participants are really quite agile and able to move, but you could do tap and clap cardio at a more simple level. It's open. It depends who your clients are. But I'm going to show this to you. And I also want you to enjoy the music that has original music and also covers that was created by my music team. So are we ready? Tap and clap cardio. Let's see, I see a little problem here. Okay, let's go.
We all had fun together. We really enjoyed it.
Ride that Mustang. Keep me 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
I really found I was able to work my coordination, my concentration.
2, 3, 4. Again, as good as doing crossword puzzles. And side and across.
I could work all the different levels of my body while sitting in a chair.
Okay, the first you always want to get the beat going. 1, knees, hips, and 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On marche. 2, 3, 4.
It will take you to confidence with joy, and that's priceless.
Awesome.
Moving my muscles in a certain way that really brought about a focus into the physical that I really needed.
Tingling, hot, cool, calm, peaceful. Become aware of what it is that we feel and what it means to gather and find ourselves in the center, in this calm, still place.
Perfectly imperfect.
So I just want to let you know, I can't believe there's already only 1 minute left, but I have a product, two products, Tap and Clap Cardio pre-recorded classes with me, which can be streamed directly in the in-house television networks right into their apartments or into a community room. And I also have a full tap and clap cardio instructor training with 3 different levels. And my launch is going to be the tap and clap cardio with Lisa, bundled with the level 1 training as my special launch offer. You know, I'm an active aging specialist with more than 20 years of experience. I've had time to observe and experiment and learn. And I've chosen an approach with a variety of exercises that I know will meet their needs and the differing abilities of the partners of our clients, senior clients, deliver real results, improve posture, strength and mobility, improve balance, coordination, and their memory. TCC helps to maintain independence and transforms lives by reawakening their youthful spirit and their zest for life and providing them with the skills they need to improve, you know, their activities of every day. And my
Beautiful, Lisa. We have to cut you off there, unfortunately, but I know we're going to have some good questions. It's going to let you tell us even more about the program. So thank you.
Great.
That was so much fun to get us moving. Awesome. So I'm going to go to our judges panel first. I'll just see if anyone takes themselves off mute and has a first question for Lisa. And if not, I will go first. No? Okay, I'll go first. How did you come up with tap and clap cardio?
Well, I was working in a senior residence and I wanted to get them to do more cardio, and I got everybody to stand up, but because of the fear of falling, because of pain, because of whatever, I wasn't successful. One day I come from a dance background and I just put on some music and I started to do that. And all of a sudden I saw everybody following me and, breathing a little harder and smiling. And it was like, aha. And then I just experimented and applied all that I know over my many years of over 20 years of working with seniors. So yeah.
Beautiful. I see Sarah's taking herself off mute, so we'll go to Sarah.
I do. I have a question. You mentioned those that could not stand up. Are there some in the class that will stand up and participate when you have that opportunity, or do you try to keep it all kind of in a seated?
Well, these are 10 classes and the 10 classes are progressive. So by the time you get to class 7, we do get up and do certain exercises behind the chair. But what is surprising though is how much actual exercise you get sitting in the chair. And it actually improves balance and coordination. And so I've asked people after 3 classes, have you noticed any change? And so a 90-year-old told me, I can get into my tub by myself now. Another one said, I can tie my shoes. So I was surprised at how much even the work on the chair translated into improvement in their everyday activities.
My other question is, if you are doing this and there is a 10-week series, have you thought of doing any pre or post assessments that you could do, if that is either flexibility, something from a benchmarking? I know you had the anecdotal stories, which are great, and how it impacts life, which is sometimes even more profound than a metric. But have you thought at all about how you could incorporate maybe the senior fitness test or a benchmark assessment?
Well, I can say, no, I didn't do that, although I've been teaching for 20 years. So I've observed in the clients the change, not only from what they've said, but I can see it with my eyes. But my real interest actually is in providing pre-recorded classes that can be streamed into different situations, and that they can be practiced either on their own inside their apartments or in a group with an on-site leader. And so that's my answer. I'm sure they could, and I'm sure that if you were actually to do a test, whatever way that you want to do it, you would see the results. But I don't offer that, but I'll think about it.
Thank you. I think it could be a really impactful marketing story of just what you're able to show and validate the program.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Kaylee or Alyssa, any questions for Lisa?
I just have a quick question. How do you approach people who maybe are a little hesitant about attending a program? They maybe don't feel confident with their dancing skills or their mobility. How do you engage people who, yeah, maybe a little hesitant or intimidated by it?
Well, because I don't call it dancing. We get together, we sit in a chair, I put on music, and in the beginning, what we do is clap to the beat all together. Can we clap to the beat? And then if we can clap to the beat, can we change directions? Yeah, can we go to the right, to the left? And so just by going step by step, simply shall we walk? So just by doing simple movements and having fun, it feels like you're at a party more than an exercise class. And so the key is to go step by step. And that's what I've figured out how to do over the 20 years. And that's how I've created the 10 classes. I mean, if I were to, my suggestion would be if you were to get those 10 classes and broadcast them on your internal television network, I would say class 1, 2 weeks, 3 times a week at different times. So that means that people have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 chances to practice that one. And then you move to the next. And so 10 classes last 5 months. And then if you get to class 5, why don't you just start 1 again? So you have class 1 and class 5. So you always have an easier and a more challenging class. And does that answer your question?
Very good. And Alyssa, if you've got a quick question, we're just running out of time. Oh, perfect. I think it was already asked, actually. Perfect. Okay, great.
I would just like to
right.
say one last thing, which is my deepest desire is to bring more joy and health into senior living, not only for the residents, but for everyone who's participating and supporting them. This is really fun. That's what I believe in, having fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. All right, we are moving on to Rowena. So Rowena, you can go ahead and share your screen while I give you an introduction to the audience. So Rowena is the Resident Services Coordinator at Panorama View Senior Apartments, and she is going to share her program, Sages in Science. So Rowena, you've got 7 minutes. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Emily. So I'm Rowena. I'm a coordinator at Panorama View Apartments, and it's a low-income or Section 8 community in Southern California. And I'll be talking to you about Sages in Science, which I'm working with a cognitive psychology professor, Dr. Rob Winningham, who is working in Western Oregon University. And I'm also learning from his cognitive stimulating certification program available through Activity Connection. So in this program, our older adults, or our SAGEs, will be doing science labs twice a month. And the goal in learning and doing science activities is, of course, to reduce the risk of dementia, first and foremost. And as you know, as all of you know, as activity professionals, learning something new can help improve our seniors' ability to pay attention, form new memories, which can help with maintaining their independence. And this program, along with the activities from what Dr. Winningham developed, can also help seniors improve from mild cognitive impairment and delayed onset of dementia. So a little background on myself. I'm actually a lab rat. I fell into activities because of my experiences with my family, actually. But so I was a lab rat. I worked as a chemist at UCLA. I was testing athletes for steroids. And I taught a little high school chemistry, and for years I worked in environmental and occupational health with the government. Then I took a break from science for health reasons, and around this time my mom developed Alzheimer's. So at that time I started to look for ways to help my mom, and took a class on Alzheimer's and some caregiving, and I started looking around for activities to help my mom, delay the progression of her Alzheimer's. So that's how I fell into this field. And later, as I got stronger from my own condition, then I started working part-time with other ladies with dementia. And then I worked at in activities at Sunrise Senior Living. And now I'm at this independent senior facility. So I'm actually fairly new to activities. So maybe I'm about 2.5 years into the field. So I'm really excited to be part of this presentation and to learn from everyone. So here's a picture of our community, just a handful of our seniors. So we're mostly made up of minorities, as you can see. It's mostly Filipinos and Spanish-speaking folks from Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador. We have a sprinkling from Jordan, Korea, and Armenia. They're mixed education backgrounds. Some are have elementary school education, some are college educated. So it's a really wide range. So for this pitch, I'll just talk about the first lab in the program on cold, flu, and allergy. The scenario that I paint to our residents is that they have their grandchildren are sick, and we need to find out who has the flu. Then they'll look at the ingredients of different medicine options, like what you would see over the counter, and pick which one would be the most appropriate to use. Again, we want to do a program like this one to help to prevent the onset of dementia. And in Dr. Whittingham's lab himself, he said that in his research, if a senior engages in some kind of cognitive stimulating activity, such as learning a new class, which is what this is all about, the risk of developing dementia is reduced by 7%. So for this talk, I'll just focus on the cold, flu, and allergy lab. And we need to have a baseline for where the seniors will start. So in this program, I use the assessment in the Cranium Crunches workbook, Circle Cs. So this is a lot like the word searches that you use in your program. So we'll just test how quickly they find Cs in a page. And then the other exam I use is the SLUMS exam, which I got from Dr. Whittingham, and that's right here. And this test tells you whether the individual has normal functioning, has mild neurocognitive disorder, or has dementia. So I did actually a trial run this past week on two of our ladies, Miss P and Miss F. And they're doing, here's a picture of the flu lab that I had them do. So they were asked to place their nasal swabs from their 3 grandchildren in the scenario on a testing solution. Okay. And as you see here, if we have a pink swab, that means our child has the flu or grandchild has the flu. If it's white, there's no flu. They then had to look at these different cold medicine options, look at the ingredients and see, okay, which one is the most appropriate one that I should give the one that has the flu. So in this case, it's the cold and flu syrup because based on the child's symptoms, okay. So far, the feedback I'm getting from our seniors has been positive, especially after taking the SLUMS exam. They're more motivated to engage in the program and do what they can to improve their memory. Or in the case of Ms. P, maintain their cognitive abilities because she scored pretty high on the exam. So I wanted to share this program. So perhaps this can also spark similar programs in your communities and have your residents benefit from cognitive stimulation. And my hope is to continue to expand the program and present it in similarly situated low-income communities that do not have easy access to resources and learning. So I'm just going to scroll to the very end here.
And that is your time, Rowena.
Okay.
You just want to get out your last sentence?
I was going to show a slide of all the resources in case anyone from the audience would like to see where I'm getting all the materials and
perfect. Yeah, you can keep that up on the screen while we go to our judges for their questions.
Okay.
So let's see. Alyssa, let's start with you.
Sure. I just have a quick question. So have you had the opportunity to actually put this program in place? I saw that you did the flu one, but you're talking about doing science. So is this something you're anticipating going, or have you already started it?
I started the first part of it. So just the flu lab, and then I have a few other labs that will be part of the program. But for the sake of this presentation, I just showed you the flu lab.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Awesome. And I was wondering, what was the reaction of the residents when you said that you're going to assess them on something as maybe touchy as their brain health? Did you get any pushback on that? Or were they interested?
I got all kinds of reactions. There's interest, and then the ones who, I guess, if they hadn't been in school for, if they've only been in school for like elementary school, they say, and they'll have some hesitation, like, oh, I'm not really good at this, but they're open to trying it, and I'm trying to explain to them like how it will benefit them, so they're open to it, because this is a very practical group. So I just try to present the benefits before we engage in anything. So that's the response that I've gotten here with the residents.
Awesome. And I saw Sarah take herself off mute, so maybe I'll go to Sarah next.
Yeah, I to your point of the slums test, just asking people to do it, you do get a little bit of pushback, but people are ultimately curious about where they're at. My question for you is, when you're looking at, I love the Sages of Science, when you just try to pose that differently, but when you're looking for ongoing labs to do, is there resident feedback? Are you getting kind of suggestions from the residents themselves?
I do a little bit of both, based on, I guess I do a little bit of both, because I started with this cold, flu, and allergy lab because there's some similarities there with, when they saw the nasal swabs, like, oh, it's like the COVID test, right? So I try to relate it to that. A lot of them took the COVID test, and I go by seasons with planning my activities. And at the time when I thought about this, it was the height of allergy and flu and cold. So I said, okay, let's do that lab. And then the source that I use for the labs is homesciencetools.com. And it's really designed for homeschooling, but you can adapt it to your audience. So that's what I like about that source. And I just picked out the ones that could, I think is most relevant to our audience. So the cold and flu lab, there's one on diabetes, where they will also look at, they get background information on diabetes, and also measure blood sugar, measure insulin, and also they can play detective. And I'll paint the scenario that, one of their residents has gotten sick, there's some white substance in their apartment. What is that white substance? And so we're going to test for aspirin, so things like that. I just cherry picked from that source. It's really a good source, and, you can adapt it to your audience.
Beautiful. And Kaylee, do you have a question for Rowena? Or if anyone has an audience question, feel free to throw that in the chat and we'll pose that to Rowena too. Oh, and Kaylee, you are on mute if you are asking a question. Nope, no question. Okay, very good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rowena. You can stop sharing your screen. And we're going to go to our final finalist. Last but certainly not the least, I'm going to spotlight Jesse and Rowena. We just have to get you to actually here. I can stop sharing it for you. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So Jesse is the owner of Jesse Jones Recreation Therapy, and she is going to present Culinary Adventures Armchair Travel. So Jessie, take it away.
Hello everybody, my name is Jessie and I am the founder of Jess Jones Recreation Therapy. So we are located in London, Ontario, and I have been so fortunate to serve so many populations, humans of all ages and abilities, one of our taglines, to not just people in London, but we have already sourced national. So we are helping people all over. Thankful for virtual platforms, of course. So it's that virtual key that has allowed us to serve so many people all over the country. So today I am presenting to you a program that I have put together, and I am going to present for you. So today I am pitching the Culinary Armchair Travel Program. So a little bit about me. I am a recreational therapist. I have a 2-year diploma in recreation therapy, and I'm also a 3rd-year research student at Brock University, doing my bachelor's of recreation and leisure studies in therapeutic recreation. I also have a 2-year culinary management diploma, and I was a Red Seal chef for 17 years. So RT is a second career for me. And so when I was designing this particular program, it was bringing all of my passions together, which is cooking and bringing people together, travel, and rec and leisure, and supporting individuals with their wellness through cooking and through culture and through trivia and all of those great things, and allowing individuals to explore these experiences from the comfort of their home. So one of the key features of my company is that we do travel. We are traveling rec therapists, and we do go into retirement homes and provide supplemental programming. We call ourselves healthcare allies. So we're there to support the recreation department with further programming that's going to meet the needs of the individual. All right, so let's carry on. So like I was saying, the Culinary Adventures Armchair Travel Program takes our participants on a journey from the comfort of their home through the exploration of travel, culture, food, trivia, and music. The Culinary Adventures Armchair Travel Program supports an individual's well-being. So the really cool thing about our program is that you sign up for 6 weeks. So you get, and you can break that up. So I say 6 weeks, but let's say 6 destinations. Okay. So a retirement home or a workshop or a camp or even a corporate organization says, yes, I want to sign up for this program. You can choose to do your 6 destinations over 6 months, 6 weeks, or every other month to extend it to a year. And the really cool thing is that every participant receives a passport. So we go ahead and we laminate a passport for them, and they receive destination stickers. And I'm very proud to say that I do all the designing myself. So I create these passports and these destination stickers, and each sticker actually aligns with the date that they did the program. And one of the ways that I provide intrinsic motivation for our residents or participants is that if they're able to collect an upwards of 6 stickers, their name goes into a draw so that they can, win something really fun and exciting. On top of that, this program provides trivia, music, art, culture. It is a multimedia experience. And I'm going to talk a little more about that, but we do videos and of course cooking. So I cook live right there in the room with our folks. We do different foods from all over the world, depending on that destination, of course. And then the best part of the program is they get to eat at the end of it. Yes, that is the best part. So let's go back to that multimedia experience. I was so excited when I purchased my very first projector and 100-inch screen. And yes, I bring this with me wherever I go. I lug it onto my little cart and away I go in. And so we set this space up to provide an environment that's restorative and supports the individual in this experience. So we've got the screen, we've got the kitchen, we get the smells going, so it's activating that sensory awareness. We've got music going as soon as they come in, wherever we're visiting. It's very music appropriate to that destination. I've put together a bunch of slides and of course the presentation for them for that day takes them through that travel. And of course, because I love humor, I always like to do the, your exits to your left and to your right. And hopefully we don't run into any turbulence, which the ongoing joke is the technology is always our turbulence. And so we've always had so much fun just working out the kinks of this program. And people have really snuggled in close to just all those idioms and having fun with it, right? And just living the moment. So as a recreational therapist, of course, I really, when I'm program planning, it's very important to me that I'm grounding my programs in evidence and strength-based practice. So this program supports our individuals in all of the wellness domains. And this is why when I pitched this program, I was really proud of it because it hits all 5 wellness domains: social, emotional, cognitive, physical, spiritual, and environmental. And of course, my 3 C's: creativity, connection, and curiosity. We are reaching all of these things with this program. So I'm going to quickly go through it. I know I've got so little time to go through it, but social, okay? How are we creating a social environment for our participants? They can increase their social wellness through collaboration, connection, competition, right? We're doing trivia. I love to throw out trivia questions and hand out prizes, and it gets that friendly competition going in the group.
1 minute to go, Jessie.
Okay, thank you. All right, so there's the social. Let's keep moving here. We've got emotional, gaining that feeling of mastery and confidence. So the residents or the participants, they're encouraged to come up and help me. I send around those different ingredients for people to explore and wake up and activate that sensory awareness. Physical, when you're in the kitchen, we're mixing, we're cutting, we're chopping, we got that sensory stimulation, we're using our balance, right? And there's so much that accompanies the ecological task analysis by increasing and decreasing a person's challenge. So this program is suitable for anyone. We can adapt it to meet the needs of anybody. Cognitive, following directions, memory for safety, knowledge and nutrition, time management, never mind getting to explore all the places and learn. We're learning, so much learning. And there's so much.
Jessie, that is our time.
There we go, going so fast.
7 minutes goes by way too fast.
No worries, love you.
We'll be asking you more questions about your program. Well done. Awesome. So I see Kaylee's off mute, so I'll go to Kaylee first.
All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to, there we go. Yeah, really great presentation. I'm just curious, I don't know if you mentioned this, but are your programs available for older adult individuals to participate in the course, or is it only for organizations and communities?
No, so when you reach out to our company, we support individuals in any setting, home-based, community, and retirement long-term care. In fact, we're opening our very first location June 1st, and we'll be offering this program in-house.
Very exciting. And can people, if it is a cooking class, can people cook alongside you, or like are they given the required ingredients and things like that beforehand so that they can kind of follow along with you, or is it more of a presentation style?
Well, the in-person culinary adventures has been a demonstration styled program. So they're getting to sit back, relax, enjoy the presentation through music, trivia. I take them on a video series. So we actually go to the location and learn about it. There's about a 25-minute video that's included. So while they're doing that, I can, whip up a little more of the food to be ready for them. But when I do the online version, that is when we do provide that recipe and say, here's the recipe ahead of time. If you want to grab those ingredients, join us online for a live cooking demo. And then I can do that in the same time. But when we're doing the presentation, it's more or less supporting the individual to come on up with us. Hey, do you want to help? Do you want to chop? Do you want to try this? I send ingredients around for them to explore, smell. But it's mostly, the culinary armchair piece is for them to just sit back, relax, have fun, and enjoy.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite country that's come out so far that everyone loves?
Well, I'm biased. I think all the countries we visit and the things we make are good. I'm a really great cook, so I really love to get people involved and try out different flavor profiles. So if I had to choose, South Africa has been probably the biggest hit. We make a delicious chicken curry with rice, and every time we make it, it just really impresses people.
Beautiful. Go to Alyssa next.
How long is the program? I don't think I heard you say that. How long does each session last?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the program is an hour and a half in length.
Okay, great. Great. And somebody asked in the chat box, so I'll tag along on it. How much does it cost?
Yeah, that's another great question. So it's $225 to purchase the program. And that includes, of course, the cost of everything. I come in, I set up, I tear down, I feed the residents. And then there's another option that we've included. So if you choose to upgrade or attach an intergenerational a component, we can decrease the cost. And we use our youth program in our company you get their community hours by helping facilitate the program. So we're even touching in on intergenerational programming.
Nice.
Very cool. Go to Sarah next.
I guess my question is, if you weren't able to do your services, do you think there's a way that a culinary team or an engagement team could replicate this just with the materials you provided, or have you done that in the past?
Yeah, that's another great question. We've actually had a few places from the United States that have already reached out to us to ask to buy our curriculum. They're really interested in how we're doing this. And I am an educator at heart. So putting together a program that would be easy for people to learn and follow along, regardless of the skill set that they come in with, I truly believe that any facilitator would have the capacity to host a program like this.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, you were all fantastic. Thank you, everyone. I'll turn off my timer here. Beautiful. Can we just give them a virtual clap here? Let's send all the vibes their way. Yes. Love it. Okay, so it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Here's how it's going to work for the votes. I'm going to launch a poll. Our audience is going to vote through the poll. Our judges are going to message me directly. Okay, so make sure, judges, you click on everyone. You can search Emily if I'm not already at the top, and you're going to send me your pick, and I'm going to launch the poll right now. And then just to remind everyone, we've got Sherry, who went first with St. Patty's Day Pub Hop, Lisa with Tap and Clap Cardio, Rowena with Sages and Science, and Jessie with Culinary Adventures Arm Travel. Very good. Okay, and then judges, if you can just message me. And how it's going to work is the individual who gets the most, I don't know if you guys can see the what's going on with the poll. Can you see it right now? Yeah? Okay, good. So the person who gets the most votes is going to get 3 extra points. Number 2 is going to get 2 extra points. And number 3 is going to get 1 point. And then we're going to add that to the judges' vote. So it's a combination of judges and audience participation here. Okay, so let me just tally up from our judges. Okay. Oh, lovely. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Sorry. Got to do some math now. Oh my gosh, we're so close. Okay, has everyone voted? Looks like we've got 3 people who haven't voted. That actually could be me as one of them. Has everyone voted?
I wasn't able to, but are the finalists allowed?
You can vote, yes, for sure, if it's come up.
It wouldn't let me.
Oh, it wouldn't let you. Okay, maybe because you're a co-host. Maybe that's why it hasn't let me as well. Okay. All right, we'll give one more moment just in case there's anyone else who hasn't done their last vote here. All right, well, amazing. Okay, if we can do a little drum roll here, a little drum roll for our Sages in Science. Amazing, Rowena. And I know you said that you were only 2.5 years in the profession. That's not that short a time. So congratulations. So Rowena is going to get a Stronger You Senior Fitness Instructor Course enrollment and a $100 Amazon gift card, or actually maybe you want a Visa gift card and you can use them to buy your kits. So I'll take that offline with you so we can help you build your program. Amazing. Do you have anything you want to say?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I was thinking that would be helpful to get the kits for our seniors. They'd really be able to do hands-on instead of huddling over one little kit.
Yes.
Thank you so much for.
You're very welcome. And again, congratulations to all of the finalists. Incredible, amazing ideas. For those who are joining today, if you're putting together might be a little late for the May calendar, but you've got lots of new ideas, and please reach out to our individuals. We're going to be putting a resource together with the recording from today, as well as their program information, so you can learn more. You can reach out to them directly. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you again to our finalists. Thank you to our judges. And thank you to our audience for making this a special event for everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.